Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop again this week. Pretty big week at the comic shop. I got 9 new comics, 8 from my pull list, 1 I picked up off the shelf. I couldn't decide if I wanted to order it back when I saw it on Final Order Cutoff. I saw it on the shelf and said, I'll give it a try. But first we'll show you our top of the printer museum comics we got for the week. We got Dalgoda. What issue number is this? Issue number 7. Where did I put my glasses? Hold on. There they are. Issue number 7. Dennis Fujitaki is the artist on this one from the 80s. This sci-fi anthropomorphic dog. And we've got Fantastic Four 128, one of the Marvel 10th anniversary covers in a box. This is John Buscema and Joe Sinnott. Actually, when I first glanced at this, was like, oh, that's the John Buscema era. I was like, but is that a Sal Buscema drawing? Because it kind of didn't look like John Buscema to me. But it's listed on the Grand Comics database as John Buscema and Joe Sinnott, so I'll trust them. Looked at those all week. Now I'll put them away and find another couple to put up there. Let's see what comics we got. Ooh, this one feels bigger. Was it more expensive? $6. It was. Ambassadors, issue number 6 of 6. This has been coming out every 2 weeks with a different artist every issue. This one's Matteo Scalera as the artist. Mark Miller is our writer. This woman discovers how to give people superpowers, and she has a contest to find the 6 most deserving people of the world, but someone's out to get her, and they've got their own superpowered people. So finally, and like the other 5 issues were just kind of like gathering the gang together. In this issue, I guess, finally they're going to fight. But that sounds like Mark Miller often has a lot of build-up until the final fight in these short series. Here's the one I picked up off the shelf. In Hell We Fight. John Layman and Jock, J-O-K. Art by Jock, colors by Jock and May, or unless it's Joke. Maybe it's Joke. I don't know. But I wasn't sure if I liked the art in this one. But then I flipped through it and went, you know, I'm not a huge fan of the drawing, but the storytelling looks interesting. In Hell We Fight. So I was like, you know what? I liked pages and panels like that. So I said, I'll give it a read. I'll give it an issue. Why not? Then here's an one that I saw on Final Order Cutoff. Best of 2022 by Fantagraphics. I haven't seen a Fantagraphics Best of collection. They used to put them out in big oversized cup trades or something. So, oh, maybe this isn't comics. This is interviews. I did not even realize. I just started flipping through it and went, oh. This is best of interview stuff. Look at that. I had no idea. I just saw it on Final Order Cutoff email I get every week from my comic shop. It was $12 for this, by the way, so it wasn't cheap. But I was like, you know what? I haven't seen a there are some comics. I haven't seen a Fantagraphics Best of in a while. Let's see. I haven't seen Fantagraphics like Comics Journal in a while. So I was like, let's see what they're up to. So got that to look forward to now. Like I said, I didn't know it was must be Best of interviews. We've got Nocterra number 15. Well, we've got 15 issues of this. Last few issues, we have a story arc where we finally find out what happened in this world where the sun went black. And we still have like the heat from the sun, but it went black. And if humans stay in the dark, they turn into these shade monsters. There's a shade monster, right? So are the animals. There's a shade monster bird. So they have to live in artificial light, and all the monsters are trying to take them down, and this and that, and cool picture. Scott Snyder, Tony S. Daniel, Marcelo Maiolo, and that's what's been going on. They have sort of this. They've been trying to find out what happened to the world and save it, but they haven't been able to do any of that yet. But they finally got to a place where maybe it could help save them. Here we go. Love Everlasting, issue number 8. I have no idea how many issues this is going to go. Let's flip to the back and see if there's a next issue. Yeah, there's a next month, number 9. There's usually a cover on the front. I don't want to look at the last page, though. This is a woman who, I love the artwork. What's her name? Elsie Charretier? Elsa Charretier. And Tom King is writing it. And this woman, I guess you'd call it a horror story. She's trapped in a romance comic. And for the first, I don't know, 6 issues, she kept moving from one story to the next. In the last 2 issues plus this one, she has been trapped in this one romance comic. So she's not sure if she's ever getting out of this one romance comic. And of course, everybody thinks she's insane. Too hip for love. That's been this romance comic she's trapped in. So I've really enjoyed this book. The art has really made it for me. And this on the cover there, here's that cowboy I think sometimes showed up to kick her to the next story or something, but that hasn't been happening. But good stuff. Don't see many people reading that, but I like it. Then we got Jimmy Robinson's Junk Rabbit. I still don't know if I like this one or not. We'll give her another issue. And once again, I wish I knew if it were a mini-series or on. I think he usually does mini-series. So if it was only 6 issues, I may as well get the next 3 because I like it enough. But if it was ongoing, I was like, hey, you know, it's kind of one of those. But I guess it's post-apocalyptic, but it was a real slow apocalypse. Some people live in these big shiny cities. Some people live outside of it. Junk Rabbit has sort of been this champion of people who live outside it. Now the people who, nice drawing right there. He draws well. The people who live inside the city want to go out and kill the Junk Rabbit for whatever reason. And I don't know if the Junk Rabbit is just a regular person dressed up or some sort of mystical creature or has some sort of superpowers. I'm not sure. But the artwork's real pretty. Let's see if we get another pretty... Look, pretty sneakers. But we'll read another issue. If I like it enough, I'll put it on my pull. I might just put it on my pull list anyway, because I can't imagine it's many more issues, and it's pretty good. Howard Chaykin, Hey Kids Comics, Volume 3, Issue 3 of 6. This is Howard Chaykin's telling the history of the comics, warts and all. Well, mostly warts. It flips between times, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, into the 2000s. There's thinly veiled versions of various famous comic book people, as well as a thinly veiled version of Howard Chaykin was in here too in the 70s one. And some people I think are composites rather than thinly veiled version of any one person. They're composites of people. Unbelievable blockbuster. But I've been enjoying. I love the history of comics, so I've been enjoying that one. Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer, issue number 13. This one's on. There's that cover, and of course, in these books, he gives you the other. They give you the other covers in the back, which is always fun. And this is they created a whole sort of barbarian story around Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer painting, and it's been good. He went down to the underworld and lots of monsters and magic and fights, and I think he was under siege in a city last issue. Now he had to get out, and I like it. If you like Conan-esque stuff, you might like Death Dealer. Well, let's see. The last one is Spawn. Still only $2.99. Once again, I'll say that's why I'm buying Spawn, because it's the last $2.99 book. Well, besides the other Spawns. Giant mystical Spawn war going on. This is Rory McConville's writing it. Frank Barberi is drawing. Is it Frank Barberi? Carlo Barberi is drawing it. J. David Ramos colors. Tom Warzakowski lettering. Big Spawn war between angels and demons and other spawns and this guy and that guy, and I don't have much to say about it. That was funny. Last issue of Spawn, you know how there's the classic two heroes misunderstanding, fight, and then work it out? In the last issue, though they weren't heroes, Spawn and this other guy needed something from each other. So they worked out a plan, a way to get for them both to get what they want, and then they fought for no reason except they didn't like each other, and then got on with their plan after they fought a little. It was just like, dude, you're not supposed to fight now. You just all agreed to terms. That was a little weird. But fun stuff. Let me show you my latest Dreams of Things. What do I got here? Oop, that one's going to fall down. This is the one I did 190. And I noticed, looking at these, my color palette on these, I just bought a whole bunch of new markers over the last month or so. Affinity markers, I think they're called, and some Blick Studio markers to go with my Copic sets, and it's changed my whole color palette up. It's like this main purple here is a Blick purple, I think, which I didn't have in my Copic set. So I noticed over these last few, as I've been integrating the new markers, I've been like, wow, my color palette really has changed, because I've got so many more. Not that I didn't have 80 something colors to choose from, but now I have 120. And I made sure when I got the new set, the new markers, not to get colors that I already had in the Copic set. So I've just, like, this green up here is new too, this minty green. I didn't really have that green before, so I find it interesting watching my color palette change, which I didn't really notice as I was doing these, but putting them all up here, I'm like, oh, look at that, a lot more blues and pinks and purples and stuff, a lot more bright things. So there you go, some comics, a little bit of art, and you guys have a good week out there.